Hi, I'm Kevin, a speech-language pathologist here at Super Duper Publications. And this is Ring Bling, and it's the handy game of following directions. And it's designed for children kindergarten and up. Now with this game, you'll reward your students for following directions with these rings. And it's an ideal game for teaching students to listen and think creatively while pretending. Now you'll notice we have the rings here, we also have 4 hands, and we have 3 decks of following directions cards, as well as our spinner. Now to play the game, we're going to give each student 12 rings. Now we include 50 rings, so we'll give each student the 12 rings, so it's a game that you can play, say, with 1 to 4 students. So we'll give the students 12 rings. Now, another way to play the game is you can go ahead and give the students 12 rings and go ahead and place them on the hands. And then that way, when they do an activity correctly, then they can actually just take a ring off, take 2 rings off, etc. And then the first one to have a clean hand or take all of their rings off, that will be the winner. But for the instructions of the game, we actually give the students 12 rings, they'll do an activity card, and then they'll spin the spinner and either earn 1 or 2 rings to put on their hand, or they'll have to give away a ring. Now with this, we'll see on our spinner here, choose 1 ring, choose 2 rings, or give 1 ring away. And then that is how we're going to play the game and move from student to student. Now, as I mentioned, we have 50 following directions cards. We have the yellow deck. These will be our basic directions, and we have 20 of those cards. Pink will be our conditional directions, and we have 15 of those. And then, of course, our blue deck will be our temporal directions, and we include 15 of those as well. So let's take a look at some examples. This from our yellow deck, which would be our basic directions deck. Fly your kite in a strong wind. And of course, the students will pretend that they are flying the kite in that strong wind. And if they do this correctly, well, the students will then spin the spinner. And in this instance, it says choose 1 ring. So the student will take 1 of their rings and they'll place it on their hand. Now we'll move on to the pink deck, which again is our conditional directions. Before you drink your milk, eat a very crunchy cookie. And again, the student will act this out, and then they'll spin the spinner. And again, this says choose 1 ring, so the student will take this, and of course put it on their hand, etc. Now, just for example, for just demonstration purposes, we just put this on 1 hand. Of course, each student will put their rings on their own individual hands. And again, if we're playing this to where we've already put the rings on the hand, then when it says choose 1 ring, they'll simply take 1 ring off. Now, moving to the third deck, this is our temporal directions, our blue deck. If you are a good friend, give yourself a bear hug. And again, the student will act that out. They will spin the spinner. And as you know, it says choose 1 ring again. So the student would choose a ring and then put it on their hand. Now, the game continues in turn, and the winner will be the student who puts all 12 of their rings on their hand. Also, inside the box top, under the lid, you'll see we have our introduction to the game, our materials, and then we have several game ideas listed as well so that you can vary the activities and the gameplay each time you play Ring Bling. So this is Ring Bling. Again, it's a great way to have students follow directions of the basic directions, conditional directions, and temporal directions, and also have fun using the rings to put on these fun hands. If you'd like to learn more about this or any of our other products, please visit our website, superduperinc.com, and even check out our Facebook page. We would love for you to share your thoughts and ideas on how you could use this product with your students.